In other news today, Nehawu and Denosa in North West say the situation at the Mahikeng Provincial Hospital is now desperate.
The unions say an incident where newborn babies were placed in boxes, these are cardboard boxes, because of a shortage of incubators, is just the tip of the iceberg. Denosa believes the matter does not need any further investigation because the shortage of equipment and other resources is well documented.
They want the North West MEC for Health, Madodo Sambata, to publicly apologize for the incident and to reinstate nurses who are suspended over the matter. The Deputy Chair of Denosa in North West, Mziwake Seleke, joins us now. Mziwake, good evening to you and thank you for your time. As I understand it, at least one nurse was suspended as a result of this story. What do you believe actually happened here?
Good evening to you and to your viewers. Look, our understanding of the situation is that that situation of the ward and the boxes cannot be placed solely, or the blame cannot be placed on the nurses that were on duty, nor the nurses that would manage that ward. Our view is that the infrastructure or the tools of trade, if I may call it that, were not properly provided to those nurses to be able to do their job properly and accordingly, so that they avoid such occurrences.
Do you know if the managers on duty knew what was going on? It seems, I mean, I'm seeing different reports. Some suggest, the MEC suggested that they didn't, but other people have suggested that perhaps they did.
It is our view that all levels of management in the hospital were aware of the overflow. In fact, this is not the first time we experience an overflow. It is just that this time it got perpetuated by media reports and all that. Now, our view is that this is a structural problem that needs to be sorted. I mean, let me give you a brief about what is happening in that ward. That ward is a 25-bedded ward, which can only accommodate 25 patients. But on the day, they had 56 babies that were delivered and that were admitted in that ward. I can tell you the nurses that were on duty were about 7. Now, comparing the two, that even the infrastructure, the ward itself, could not even contain the number of babies. We are not going to talk about the human resource that was poor on the day. Now, on the reports that we have is that both the clinical manager, the CEO, and the nursing service managers, they were made aware by the nurses on the ground. The nursing service manager communicated then to the CEO and then made the CEO aware at the time that this is the situation that they are experiencing in the ward at that time.
So I accept that there are problems clearly with resources, both the number of nurses and the number of beds. Nurses would still be, I think, expected to make sure that their managers knew of the problem. Are you absolutely certain that all of the nurses did what they were supposed to do in terms of communicating the problems to their managers?
Yes, from where we are sitting, the management themselves also agreed to us that even we've got minutes to that effect of meetings where these issues were raised, and they were raised sharply. Management promised to resolve them. They are moving at a quite snail pace. It is just that what we saw on Saturday was a culmination of the unfortunate continuous reporting that the nurses would have done to report to management.
So you now held a protest today. What is it that your members actually want? You want all of the nurses involved to have their suspensions uplifted, I presume. What do you want to happen to the hospital management?
No, we did not have a protest. We don't know about any protests from the Denosa side. We had workers, in fact, who are nurses, who gathered together and wanted labor to address them collectively so that they have a common understanding, because people were afraid that if there is a problem with patients in their ward, then they would learn to improvise or try to improvise on the basis that as nurses we are only trained to save lives. Now, you don't have limitations as to how far you would go. You do have limitations, but you would do everything in your power to make sure that a baby's life is saved. So they wanted labor to address them, to ensure that when they go to work and they improvise, their rights are being protected. They will not be necessarily suspended as the claims that the two managers of nursing would be suspended.
Mziwake Seleke, thank you. Deputy Chair of the Union Denosa, do appreciate the time.